Hi, it's Jane. Do you ever feel like you get nothing done? I think that's the way my week has felt. I've got nothing done. Although I know I've done a little bit. I did a little bit more crochet on the shawl, but I haven't had a lot of crochet time. I've basically been going through totes, pull out things and determine what I need to get rid of, what I need to keep again. I think that's good to do. And that is about it. Like I said, a whole lot of nothing. I have cut more bags to be sewn for the Operation Christmas Child, making backpacks. I'm pulling some of the fabric that can be used for dresses or skirts, shorts. It's kind of what I've been doing this week. That's about all. Haven't really felt all that wonderful this week. I'm not going to say that I have a full-blown fibromyalgia, but I've been sore. So I've kind of been just hanging out and doing a whole lot of nothing, doing a lot of napping, okay? That's basically what I've been doing. I am playing with this doll to make some clothes for her. She is one of the Dollar Tree dolls. So I am looking to find some different little clothing options to put on her. One of the easiest things is to take a hair tie, make a skirt that you can put up over her. I had read somewhere that the Weebies patterns, that many of those patterns you can adjust them just a little bit to where they can make good clothes for that size doll, and also the Dollar General's $3 baby doll that they have. But so I'm going to play with those this week a little bit. The only other thing I did is I got another scrunchie done. I'm really on a roll with getting things done this week. Yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. Been going through clothes, putting away the spring clothes, finally getting out my winter clothes. I think I would have done that already, but no, didn't do that. So what do you think about all the drone sightings? I think those are interesting. Aren't they kind of a little disconcerting, while at the same time it provokes my curiosity? So, not only because of the drones, but because of the size of the drones. Some of them supposedly are large, like the size of a car. That's a pretty big drone. That's not a, I went to Radio Shack. Of course, I don't think Radio Shack exists anymore. And bought a drone, Mom. I would imagine that is probably governmental or, something like that. And I did think it was interesting. San Francisco had their first ever tornado. Makes you wonder what's going on in the world today, doesn't it? Yep. Things are getting crazy and nutso. So, like I said, I've done a whole lot of nothing. I've done things in the background, things that aren't craft related. So, other than cutting the bags and, pulling fabric for shorts and things for Operation Christmas Child, that is about it. Did find a new way to use some of the smaller scraps of the t-shirts. I've made the t-shirt yarn for making the jump ropes, but some of the leftovers, lots of times I will cut circles in the tops of the shirts so I can sew those around, to make a core for the hacky sacks that I crochet. So, well, I did finish a hacky sack, but it's over there somewhere. So, yeah, I did do something else. I finished a hacky sack. Woo! But found that there is a use that you can take like 4-inch strips, take a handful, use a twist tie, put it around the center, determine if that's the way you want your little ball to be, and then zip tie it as tight as it can be and cut it off and smooth off the end of there so it's not all, scratchy and nubby to where it'll hurt someone. But then you have a string ball that can be played with. Found that interesting. Would imagine you could probably use them to make ribbon dancers. And ribbon dancers are generally some kind of ring, like wooden ring or a metal ring, smaller ring, that you actually just tie ribbons to, long ribbons, so that they can wave them around when they're dancing them. A lot of younger kids like those. So those are some things that I've been doing. Have worked on, like I said, just getting those fabrics kind of sorted out, pulling the Christmas fabrics, putting them in one tote, and getting those sorted out and sorted away from places. And then going through some of those totes that I'd picked up from the senior center to determine what's in there. What can be used for this or that. A lot of it can be used for quilting. Some of it can be used for clothing. So I will do that. And many times, if I can't use it, if it's too thin for clothing, I can layer the clothing. Like make a base of a dress and then put ruffles on with the different fabrics. So it's layered, so it's not see-through. And one of the reasons that I like making dresses, skirts and then providing a t-shirt with the skirt for a girl is because it helps stop sex trafficking. You have no idea how many of these children are trafficked for sex. Not only that, but raped because they don't have clothing. So that's a good way to use that fabric, I think. But yeah, that's kind of it. So we're going to get on to what in Tarnation. Like I said, it's going to be quick and easy today because I got nothing. Now, here in Pennsylvania, we have a car that does drive. It has a lot of lights on it. During Christmas, drives around at night on 220, those kind of things in the area. And it's a cute car to see. However, apparently Wyoming doesn't care for it. Driver stopped in Wyoming for covering car and Christmas lights. Police in Wyoming are reminding residents to decorate their homes for Christmas instead of their vehicles, after a driver was pulled over with their car illuminated by festive lights. The Wyoming Highway Patrol shared a photo on social media showing a Ford Mustang pulled over by a trooper who noticed the entire vehicle was decked out in colorful lights for the holidays. As the holiday season approaches, we would like to remind you of a Wyoming statute, the post said. The statute in question states that no person shall drive or move any vehicle or equipment upon any highway with any lamp or device thereon capable of displaying a red or blue light visible from directly in front of the center thereof. The post said that while decorating a car might look cool and festive, we would like to remind you that it is illegal. Please remember to stay safe when celebrating this season. Well, bah humbug, Wyoming. Couldn't you make a special provision? Like during Christmas season? Trapped hiker hoisted from quicksand mud at West Virginia lake. And this is a scary thing. I don't know if you've ever been in a lot of mud like that, but it's terrifying because you can't move. Firefighters and rescue teams conducted an unusual operation when a hiker ended up stuck in waist-deep mud that was described as essentially quicksand. Summersville Fire Department was summoned to Summersville Lake and ended up calling for help from the Wilderness Volunteer Fire Departments and the Fayette County Vertical Rescue Team when they discovered the terrain in the drained lake was too unstable to walk on. It is essentially quicksand, Wilderness Volunteer Fire Department Lieutenant Uriah Ludel told WCHS TV. You step on it and you start moving. It just sucks you in and you're stuck. The rescue teams used the nearby Hughes Bridge to hoist the hiker to safety. The man was checked out at a local hospital and was found to be uninjured, which is a good thing. Have you ever had a cat that got like a Walmart or a Target bag, his head stuck in it? They take off running throughout the house. That's the first thing I thought of when I heard this story. Sheep rescued from cliff runs off with rescue bag. A sheep rescued from a cliff in England attempted to run off afterwards with half of its body still inside the rescue bag. The Beard Coast Guard rescue team said on social media that personnel responded alongside the Devon Fire and Rescue Services Plymouth-based technical rescue team after the sheep fell from the top of the cliff near the scene of a recent landslide. The Coast Guard provided support while firefighters used a rescue bag to hoist the sheep back up to the top of the cliff. The sheep did attempt to run to his mates before getting fully out of the rescue bag. Photo included in the post shows the sheep attempting to run with the back half of its body still inside the red bag. It just reminded me of that. Okay. And apparently Oregon City has found out my secret fun thing to do at night. I think this would be hilarious to do. And in my younger days, I would have done it. In my older days, I'm thinking about doing it. Oregon City asked locals to stop putting googly eyes on sculptures. Officials in Bend, Oregon are asking residents to stop attaching googly eyes to the city's sculptures, despite support for the whimsical practice from some locals. The city's official account said on Instagram that the oversized plastic eyes attached to 8 public art installations by unknown pranksters could end up costing Bend a lot of money. While the googly eyes placed on the various art pieces around town might give you a chuckle, it costs money to remove them with care, not to damage the art, the post said. While we don't condone the wreaths, sleighs, and Santa lats, let's stay away from adhesives, graffiti, and all things that can damage the art. The post garnered dozens of comments from residents, including many from locals who said the googly eyes are a harmless addition to the sculptures. City spokesperson Renee Mitchell said the adhesives that keep the eyes in place can damage the coating of the metal. Now see, I would not have imagined that. I can understand that. Cordon steel can lose rust patches from adhesives, needing chemical treatment to rust evenly, Mitchell told Oregon Live. Stainless steel requires strong solvents to remove adhesive residue. Mitchell said the city already spent more than $1,500 removing googly eyes from sculptures. While the addition of the googly eyes may be amusing and make people laugh, they ultimately cause unintended damage, Mitchell said. Well, then that sounds like crocheters and knitters need to just crochet some nice big stuffies and then attach googly eyes to them. That's a thought. an act of kindness. I can imagine how wonderful this highway smelled for a little bit. Truck fire covers California highway in melted chocolate. California highway was left in a sweet and sticky state after a truck fire caused the roadway to become covered in more than 30,000 pounds of melted chocolate. California Highway Patrol said firefighters were summoned to the scene on westbound Interstate 580 near Grant Line Road in the Dublin area. Crews were able to extinguish the fires engulfing the truck, but firefighters soon discovered the vehicle's cargo. 30,000 to 40,000 pounds of chocolate had melted and was spreading across the road. The resulting cleanup operation lasted for several hours. Initial investigations indicated the cause of the fire was a mechanical issue with the truck's brakes. The driver was able to escape the truck and no injuries were reported. That's a good thing. Pennsylvania town attempts world record for the largest Macarena dance. A Pennsylvania town's holiday parade was capped off by participants and spectators attempting a Guinness World Record for the largest Macarena dance. The Newtown Business Association asked participants and spectators from the McCaffrey's Newtown Holiday Parade to gather in the middle of Sycamore Street after the parade to perform the dance moves associated with the 1996 Bayside Boys version of the song. Did you realize it was that old? Wow. The current record for the largest Macarena dance stands at 2,219 people and was set at England's Buckland Community College in 2011. Based on our participant list and based on all the people we had here, I think we came pretty close, if not breaking it. Dan Petty at the Newtown Business Association told Patch, "We think we entered the record books today. Evidence from the record attempt, including video recorded by drones, will now be submitted to Guinness World Records for review." And there you have it. What in tarnation? Boy, I tell you, who would think that you would want to do the Macarena? All right. Let me grab the devotional and we'll get to it now. I hope you're enjoying this one. This is With God, I Always Have More. Now, it is a 90-day devotional. However, we're going to do it in a couple of weeks. We'll do it week by week until we are finished with it. So this next one comes, and we are at God with Us. I am going to put my glasses on because my eyes are pretty tired. I did not sleep well last night. So I'm going to need some additional support for my eyes. Happens. Behold, the virgin shall be with child and bear a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, which is translated God with us. Matthew 1:23. For those who have grown up in a religious setting, this scripture is all too familiar, as it is read during the holiday season when children anticipate Santa's present-laden arrival. In our hurry to get to the manger scene and the arrival of the wise men, we inadvertently race past the miraculous nature of the above statement. God chose to be with us in human form. To accomplish this, the seed that would be implanted within the Virgin Mary would have to come from a supernatural source without the aid of natural human interaction. A virgin with a child. Amazing. And the child is the direct offspring of the God of Israel's covenant and the creator of every star, including the Star of Bethlehem. Breathtaking. God didn't stop there. He then made his son a living sacrifice for all, so that he could be with us throughout eternity as a multinational divine family. If God accomplished all this over 2,000 years ago without any of our assistance, we can have hope in his ability to solve whatever problem that is top of mind right now. God is with you today in the person of the Holy Spirit. Reflect. What would change in my life if I knew for certain that God was with me? Pray. And here's a prayer. Father, help me discern your presence daily so I can grow in my awareness of your being with me. You have chosen to interact with me as a loving Father who sent his Son to save me when I was not seeking salvation. You have chosen to be with me and to place value upon me far beyond what I deserve. Help me to see these truths from your perspective in my daily life. Declare, God is present in my life. Act. Set an hourly timer on your watch or phone, and every time you hear the chime, remind yourself that God is with you. I have a friend that every time I see her, you do the usual greeting, hi, how are you? And whenever I say that to her, she always says, better than I deserve. And she always goes back to the idea that she doesn't deserve the grace and the salvation that God has extended to her. But she is extremely grateful for that. So, something to think about, guys. And that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's a short one, but I will see you again next week and sometime throughout this week. So everybody have a great week. And remember, be kind to one another. And remember, God is with you.